Yo, what's happening, guys? Azoth, this one's for you.
It's week 7 of the
Whoa,
LSBA. This
not
is a
any
huge
longer.
week.
I'm a little
We
late.
are all trying to figure out who's going to end up in the playoffs. And so it's an important week where we discover more and more what our chances of ending up in the
Indeed.
top 4 are going to
Uh,
be.
as far as I
So
know,
we're going to
even
start
still
off
right
with
now, it's
Azoth
still
versus
up in the
Rodney.
air who's gonna be
Um,
the fourth place.
this is probably not a Brave Bird Tapu Koko. Well, they
This
both
is
sent
Rodney.
in
Rodney bringing Brave
um,
Bird Coco.
their terrain setters. Uh, Azoth has his Rillaboom, and Tapu Koko is on the other team, and Rillaboom was a little bit slower, so his grassy terrain procced. He sent his Tapu Koko in first because that was what he wanted to do.
Tapu
And he
Koko was
leads with
pretty good
Fake Out.
against most of his team.
And it took 2 PP
Um,
because this Corviknight has
against
pressure.
Jellicent,
And
against
he takes
Ninetales.
no damage from it.
It's okay-ish
It's
against
basically
Conk.
like he led Corviknight.
Decent against Bonzong. So I mean, and it gets like
He has
U-turn
Brave Bird on it.
Switch,
That's
so.
kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then, so Azoth switches in Jellicent, and the Corviknight U-turns. The Jellicent takes almost no damage from
Well, it's resisted.
the Brave Bird, and Jellicent gets a Toxic
I guess
onto the Superior that just switched in.
I wouldn't call 26%.
Everyone's health is
no
recovering
damage.
a little from the grassy
decent
terrain.
chunk.
He switches in his Grass Resist Vikavolt, and
So I can never remember
Superior
with Poison
uses
and Bug.
a
I
Leaf
can
Storm
never
on the Vikavolt.
remember
It only does 25%
what is resisted
damage.
and what's
He's got
not.
a Toxic on his Superior.
Like,
So the next attack's
can't
going to do
remember.
50%,
I know Poison resists
and
grass,
Vikavolt
but I
can live
always forget
with
Bug resists grass.
25%
Um,
remaining. We don't know
and with
for
fighting,
sure if the
fighting
Superior
resists
is a
either
Scarf.
Poison or Bug, but I never remember which one
So
it is.
he might have like Hidden Power Rock.
I always forget that. I always have to look
And
that
we'll
up.
just have to see.
In the heat of the moment.
No. He knows that he doesn't want to take in a Bug Buzz, so he switches into his Quad Bug Resist Corviknight, and he does go for Bug Buzz. He can't take any risks against this Superior. This Superior
no
just
risks
tears
around
through
Superior.
teams.
Superior
It's the destroyer
is
of
way too
teams.
scary.
And Rodney stays in with his Corviknight, because he doesn't want his Tapu Koko taking any damage. And a discharge after the Bug Buzz special defense drop will do it. It takes
even
out
without
the Corviknight.
the special
And then he
defense drop, I
sends
would
in
be
his
surprised
Tapu
if it killed
Koko
anyways, so.
because Vikavolt can't. So Vikavolt can't take advantage of the electric train because of its levitate. They said either you get to get rid of electric's only weakness, or you get to use electric terrain. There's no two ways about it.
Technically,
And
you can use electric
so he
terrain
switches in his
via
Rillaboom to get
rising
rid
voltage.
of the electric
You don't get
surge
the
and
boost, but rising voltage
resist
depends on
any
the
electric
opponent
attacks.
being
But
on the
he
ground.
uses
So
Dazzling Gleam.
technically, you
It
can
does
still
nothing.
use
It does
electric terrain.
27%, and he heals it from the grassy surge.
Rashe is going a lot more in depth with
He
these
switches.
with this commentary
Rodney
this week.
switches in his Kyurem Black, and it takes a Fake Out. The
Um,
Fake Out, I am realizing, is to stall for grassy terrain healing, and he switches in.
See, finally starting to appreciate that fake out.
Azoth switches in his
This is
Jellicent
the
to
true
take an Icicle Spear and resist it.
story arc this season is
which was a good
Rashe
choice.
coming to appreciate fake out.
Which was a good choice, and it was lucky that everyone's going for the default option and not predicting any switches, because Jellicent is annoying. Kyurem uses Icicle Spear on the Jellicent. It takes
Jellicent's okay.
about 20% damage.
I mean, it's no more annoying
it takes
than any other bulky water
27%
type
and heals from the grassy
or
terrain.
bulky ghost type.
That is a choiced Kyurem. It's either Specs or it's either Band or Scarf. So he has to switch out. He switches into his Superior, expecting a Will-O-Wisp or Scald, but I'm not sure why Azoth switches in his Ninetales specifically, but I'm expecting an Aurora Veil getting set up.
Hmm.
It might be Scarfed, it might be able to Blizzard. The Ninetales takes a Leaf Storm and survives with 44%. Um, the Superior gets hit by a Freeze Dry, but it's gotta have hit point or special defense investment because it only takes 43%. And we can see that the Superior is much faster than Ninetales. So
Well, yeah.
he's gonna have to switch. Or maybe Ice Shard. He might have Ice Shard. And he switches into Vikavolt. It takes the 50%. No, it doesn't. It was a crit. It would have survived.
Vikavolt's only there for the Superior anyways.
If things had worked it out. But luckily, the Superior goes down from the Hail and the Toxic. So Rodney switches in his Kyurem, and they both get a free switch. It's a new lead, and the grassy terrain is gone. He doesn't have terrain boot extender, so he sends in his Rillaboom to reset the grassy terrain, and there we get a fake out. It's a fake out between hail and grassy terrain. You get hurt, I survive. So Kyurem goes for Dragon Claw.
No idea why he went for
expecting him to
Dragon
make
Claw
the same play of switching in Jellicent, and he can probably hit Jellicent twice with the Dragon Claw. Call it good.
I mean, yeah, Dragon Claw covers the Jellicent play, but like
because he doesn't want
Politoed
to
is
do
a
20%
switch
damage,
into
he wants to do like
Jellicent.
30% damage. Rillaboom
Yeah.
hits Kyurem with the
I don't
Brick Break, and
I-
the Dragon Claw
I see
does
why he went for the
too
Dragon
much
Claw,
to
but I
his
would have gone for
Rillaboom.
Spear. You gotta. He's on the
but
back leg. You gotta deal with
Rodney
the thing
switches
in front
out.
of
Azoth switches out. They both switch out. There's Ninetales and Tapu Koko back. Ninetales barely survives the Thunderbolt. The
you. Is that
terrain
an
boosted
Xbox in the
Thunderbolt,
background? Or no, that's
and
a
manages to
PlayStation.
set up an Aurora Veil, which I think is gonna
Yeah, I
make
hear
a
a
huge
PlayStation.
difference. He
I think a
switches
PS4
back
in the
into his
background.
into his Rillaboom to take the Volt switch. The Aurora Veil's not gonna do Konga any good, because he
Honestly,
only
I
got
wouldn't have gone
a
for the
few
fake out
percent
there.
hits. The
Um,
fake out does 13 to
all right.
Kyurem.
To take advantage of the
hoping he
Aurora Veil
might go
turns,
for
I
a
wouldn't have gone for
Dragon
the fake
Claw
out
again,
myself. I
but
just would have
he
let.
doesn't. He goes for
Rillaboom
Iron
still
Head,
has use, I guess, for the Politoed
and
and
it
for
hits
Coco.
the Ninetales
I don't
Alola
know.
for that last 3%.
But he ended up
switches in
second
Wet
Ninetales
Boy
anyway,
Summer,
so I just would have gone
and-
to.
But this is like a banded Conkeldurr. It's gotta be, because it hits him with a Hammer Arm and it knocks out the Politoed in one hit.
Why Hammer Arm instead of.
So he sends in his Tapu Koko to
Yeah,
be
why
able
Hammer
to
Arm instead of
dazzle
Close Combat?
Gleam and
Close
resist the
Combat
Hammer Arm.
hits better. I think Hammer
but
Arm
who's
has
he
a
probably gonna
90%
switch
accuracy.
into? Probably Bronzong.
Um,
No, he keeps it. Keeps Conkeldurr in, and just
yeah, I don't.
accepts the
Close Combat's just better.
42% damage on it.
I get you're a
hits him
Trick Room
with a
team, so the speed drop
Hammer
doesn't really
Arm.
matter.
He can live another.
But also under Trick Room, like you're going to be faster, and you're not going to
Another
care about
dazzling gleam
the
and knock out this Tapu Koko.
defense drops from Close Combat.
But he
anyways.
doesn't. He switches in his Bronzong. Because nothing's really gonna like a Euro ball here.
Ooh, a Euro actually sounds
And
good.
oh my gosh, he uses Psychic. He could see the future. He Psychicked the Halucha because
Not really. Psychic
Gyro
was just
Ball
a neutral
wouldn't
play.
have done enough damage from the fighting resist and the
Fighting
defense
does not
boost
resist
from the
steel.
terrain seed.
Um,
Hits him with a close combat. It's
but yeah,
not
Psychic
enough.
was just a neutral play. Obviously,
they
Kieran wasn't
speed
coming in,
swap.
and Psychic would have
What?
killed the
They speed
Coco
swap.
from the range it was at.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah, that was pretty
crazy.
That was
He
pretty
uses a never before seen move in the whole LSBA. Swaps his really bad speed on
I remember
the
back when I was
Halucha.
experimenting with doubles,
and
I
takes
tried
his
out speed
base.
swap
What
Shuckle.
is it? 110.
That did not go over well.
But both his other Pokemon are faster than our guy here.
Yeah, I
They're
said I
both
didn't see this
faster
live. I had
than
to watch the
Hawlucha,
replay because I think I was at work.
because he
at the
doesn't
time.
get to steal the unburden
speed
boost,
swap,
just the
Bronzong is
base
hype.
stat. I think maybe base stat plus. Nope, he's super fast. He got to use Steel Roller
Well,
on
he just speed swapped. Of course, he's
the
super
Kyurem
fast.
Black. I think it was Taco who first used Steel Roller, but it might have been Azoth. I can't
It
remember
was
that much
Rashe.
about this.
Rossi
And
had Steel Roller on his.
he goes for Dazzling Gleam.
On his.
Why would
I
you
don't
Dazzling
remember. It might have
Gleam?
been
Why wouldn't you
Scolipede.
Thunderbolt? Okay, if he had gone for Thunderbolt, that would have been it. And we found out that this Kyurem was Choice Band and not Choice Scarf. That's how he could.
I
wasn't
think he had.
faster than the
Coco
Bronzong.
might be choice locked. He had to go for Dazzling Gleam because.
And that knocks it out. It's a 4-0. And then they're.
Yeah, actually, I don't know why he didn't go for Thunderbolt.
Taco just kept saying Glimbo a lot, and that's that
Glimbo.
was a running joke at the end. I think it was in another video that we did that.
I don't know if that's where it came from.
And here's
Taco, but like Glimbo just reminds me of like the
exciting
Hugh Neutron
next
Jimbo
battle.
meme. That's the only thing I
Our
can
two
think of.
front runners, David, who's only lost once,
Hey,
and
I
Alex,
resent that.
who's also only lost once.
I
up
have
to this
surpassed Ronder. I'm now
point.
second
And
place. Excuse
we're all
you.
excited about it. They both send out their fake out users. There's Zerora and Medicham
Does
Mega.
Aurora get fake out?
But
Oh, it
the
does.
Zerora is faster and does 19%
For some reason, I
to
forgot
this
I got pick up.
Medicham. He switches out into his Pelipper, because Medicham
I
has
don't know
like
why
no defense.
he went for U-turn there. Absolutely, at least Shadow Ball, but definitely either Shadow Ball or
Switches
Thunderbolt. Shadow Ball was a
into his Dragapult, does a U-turn, but Pelipper also does a U-turn. Up to this point, they've done the
Shadow Ball
exact
had
same
no
move.
drawbacks
Turn 1, they
going
both
into
fake
David.
out. Turn 2, they both switch out. Turn 3, they both use U-turn. That's what it takes to be a top player in the LSBA. And he sends in his Incineroar. His Intimidate doesn't really proc because of the U-turn. It intimidated the Pelipper, but the Pelipper didn't decide to warn the Swampert about anything. He might have Fake Out on it. No, he doesn't go for Fake Out. He goes for Stealth Rock.
That was a ballsy play going for
The
parting shot in front of
Incineroar
the Swampert.
boldly goes for a parting shot. Lower both those stats. I don't care if you waterfall me. I don't care if you earthquake me. I'm gonna lower your attack a little bit. And he sends in his Dragapult, who's
Don't know
super
why he went to
fast,
Dragon
but
Ball
not
here.
faster than the Swamp. Nope, he is actually faster than the Swampert. Hits him with a Draco Meteor. He might get a Ice Punch in return.
Yeah, I think that's confirmed.
Alex
Scarf Dragon
does have to
because
switch out because
what is
that Ice
Swampert's
Punch
speed,
is going to
actually?
do way more than
because Dragon Ball is
his, Draco
142
Meteor.
and he had to
We're
be
getting a U-turn this turn.
145. Oh no, that's just for choice.
Nope, no U-turn, even
Yeah,
though he's
so
faster.
Dragon Ball is confirmed Scarf. Never mind.
Oh, because it's Specs or something.
It's Scarf.
Yeah, it's
Also, that was not
no
Specs
reason to
damage
make
on
it
Swampert.
Scarfed.
You just saw the reason right there.
And he
Now it's
hits
beat
him,
Swampert.
tries to hit the Swampert with another Intimidate, but he switches out into a Celesteela, and the Incineroar uses Will-O-Wisp on the Celesteela because that's the only thing you're really going to do to him.
Celesteela so much.
I
Ever
mean,
since
he's
he
slow
got
enough,
released,
you can't really reduce his speed. He's Steel, so you can't
I've
Toxic
never been
him
a fan of that
as
thing.
much as you really need to be able to Toxic
There's no
Celesteela.
reason it needs to be
But,
that bulky.
You know, Incineroar
Just
does
annoying.
another parting shot. After knocking off the Celesteela's leftovers. I don't know if that's great, but it is super annoying to have leftovers on the Celesteela. And hang on,
Yeah, the Incineroar thing. Yeah, that
so
happens
far
sometimes.
there's no issues with their movesets, no issues with their plays, but somehow David knows that Alex is gonna switch in his Nidoking, so he Earthquakes. No, he was just trying to plain Earthquake the Incineroar.
Yeah, Earthquake.
'cause it
He has no
recovery.
Earthquake
But
immunity.
Celesteela does.
So, and Incineroar was
And
in front of him, so no reason not
this
to
is
go for Earthquake.
he switches in on the very turn that the rain goes out, because Alex knows how to plan, how to
I don't
count
think that was
the turns,
necessarily
because he
planned.
played in Gen 5 probably, and he could go for Flamethrower, he could go for Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt is just
We're
a better
gonna
play.
find out, but actually he goes for
because it hits
Ice
the
Beam,
Pelipper.
because I don't know. He doesn't go for either of those.
Why is there a PS4 in the
It
background?
doesn't seem like a reasonable
Just
expectation
chilling on the
that
home
he would
screen.
switch in his Dragonite. Oh yeah, this is a really cool play. He goes for Ice Beam to make it seem like he doesn't have Thunderbolt. He just wants to make him think he doesn't have Thunderbolt or Flamethrower.
I don't necessarily know if
And
that
he
was
gets
Ronder's
his,
thinking.
He does the Ice Beam again. He knows he's gonna protect, and then he switches in his Pelipper. And here's what happens. He goes for Thunderbolt. He was just faking him out that whole time.
I unfortunately haven't watched Ronder's live comments, so I don't know his thinking on there.
That was amazing. That's the highlight
was
of
pretty
the
hot.
whole season for me, to be honest. Like I've watched all the other, what is it, 5 times 6, the other 30 battles. No, that was it. That was the coolest play
5 times 6?
I've seen. I wouldn't have come up with
if you're
that
including
at
your
all.
own battles.
And I've been playing this for like 10 years.
I mean, that was a cool
He
play,
switches in his
certainly.
Rabombi.
But that's high praise.
Maybe an
If
Earthquake.
that's the
onto
hypest
the
thing
Needle
you've
King.
seen ever in
Although
Pokemon.
just as likely he could have waterfalled. And I guess the Rabombi has Energy Ball. He's gotta. But he gets hit by a flip turn because he wants to switch out his
Sticky Web, Defog,
Swampert. And the
U-turn
Rabombi
maybe.
takes 24%.
Bug Buzz, Blue Blast.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He took 24% from the rocks. The flip turn knocked it out.
Yeah,
I don't know
Rabombi
what he
only
was
taking
thinking there. Maybe he
24%
wanted
from
just
flip
to
turn
just
in the
make a
rain?
sack.
No.
Oh right, he makes an actual
No.
video. He can't get faked out because he's a ghost, but he can get knocked off. And then the Draco Meteor, I assume it might be a scarfed Draco Meteor. Yeah, it was. He knocked off the choice scarf, and then
I'm pretty sure Zero is faster
Medicham
than
is
Dragapult.
faster now. He can hit him with the fake out.
Yeah,
But it's really
Dragapult
not enough.
is confirmed
The
Scarf. From a long
Medicham
time
takes
ago.
more damage from the Slow King's Rocky Helmet than he does, and he doesn't go for Zen Headbutt because it's a neutral hit against the Slow King. But the Slow King gets a boosted Scald, and the Incineroar hangs on by a hair and hits him with a knockoff.
Don't know why you stayed
It
in
knocks
Slow
off
King
that
here.
Rocky Helmet. But
just go on to
Slow King
Celesteela.
Galar just has Regenerator.
You've already
There's
been knocked
nothing
off.
you can do to him.
Celesteela's
And
faster.
then we get the Earth Power. But in revenge, David sends out his Swampert, who has the boosted rain.
I mean, it's just Runner's playstyle.
Switches in the Zorora.
He should have brought the
fake
Melodic.
out anything he wants.
He had nothing for Swampert on his team. Basically,
If
anytime
that's a free
Swampert
fake
came
out.
out
He
in
knows
the rain,
he's faster. He
just
knows
got a
it's
kill.
not a scarfed Weavile fake out strat. And he expects his Weavile to get knocked out here. He expects it to get knocked out by a close combat. So he does what he can while he can to make it a little easier for the Medicham here. But
now
David
Runner's lost by
goes
this
to
point.
preserve
Medicham
his
can't take it back.
differential.
Dragonite
And
can
then hits him with
Dragon
the
Dance
triple
to
axle.
dual wing beat.
It does so much damage, and it's a Celesteela too. It did 54% damage to a Celesteela. That's amazing. But
It's decent, yeah.
no, he doesn't go for another fake out. He goes for an extreme speed.
Dragonite definitely does not get fake out.
And he tries to ice punch the Dragonite, but it's too evasive because he didn't want his Dragonite to get faked out and then ice punched. He wants to do the faking out. No, he hits him with
Or
the
I mean,
plasma fist,
yeah,
because why
exactly.
not? And this, yeah, it's this battle where we all say Glimbo a bunch, because
Limbo.
Glimbo shows up, says Glimbo. Rodney says, I say Glimbo. Rodney says Glimbo. Rodney says GG Glimbo Glimbo. Yeah, and that's it. Sorry. Well, yeah, that was an amazing match between our two front runners.
It was a decent match, yeah.
His two
Not as
Volt
cool as the
turners.
Bronze Song set, though. Bronze Song,
And
Speed Swap
most of
Bronze
his
Song was
guys
pretty cool.
only ended up using one move. This might be a banded Dragonite. We will never know.
Yeah, he literally
then
just
I
saw
gotta
Speed
watch,
Swap Bronze Song.
You know, those ones last. So
Gotta
let's
save that one
switch
last.
that around.
Yeah, but he saw
and
Speed
watch
Swap
the
Bronze Song.
Rossi
And then
versus
said
Dylan
that
battle now.
hiding T-Bolt on Needle King was
These
the type of thing he's seen. Like, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
and Dylan
hiding
says
the
he's
T-Bolt
at
was pretty
work
cool.
while playing this. He sends in his
But it's no
Deoxys. The
Speed Swap
Deoxys
Bronze
gets hit by a fake out and takes 8% damage.
Bruh, it's a Deoxys defense. It has, what, 150 defense stats?
It's 18% damage. It's more than anything.
Let me check here. Let me look.
It's more than nothing. And he switches. Rossi switches in his friendless Blissey.
Deoxys defense.
And Deoxys sets up both his screens,
160
reflect
defense,
and light
so,
screen.
I mean,
gets
yeah.
hit by a toxic. I don't
only a
see.
fake out.
No,
not
the Altaria might be
not
a
a
heal
big
bell setter,
impact.
but yeah, Deoxys defense has no recovery. It's not called Deoxys recovery. He's called
Deoxys defense literally gets recover.
defense.
Like, yes, it does get recovery.
And Jack comments that everyone runs screens this season, and he hasn't.
I have not yet
Might
run
have
screens, that is
saved him
correct.
a few battles. Because they both have screens up.
Everyone's been running screens. I don't get it.
He switches in the Landorus.
Why?
You know, the
What's with the
general
screens this
top
season?
tier for the last 10 years. The balanced top tier.
Lando has been top tier since it's been
And
introduced.
oh my gosh, that extra critical hit from the Smart Strike really paid off. It did extra damage on top of ignoring a
yeah, but I also
reflect.
don't understand why Rossi switched out there. Because unless he got another crit on top of
Tangrowth
that,
has hidden power
Lando
fire,
would have taken
but
another hit.
Dylan switches
I
out
don't know.
in his fire resist. Dylan's been running a lot of special sets, or at least in the battle I had with
I love
this
Mega Altaria.
Altaria.
I used that a couple
so he
seasons
switches
back,
in his special
and it's
defender.
just such a good
although I
Pokemon.
think a couple of returns would probably mess him up, but he has the reflect up, so maybe he could have gotten a toxic onto the Altaria Mega, who no longer has natural cure. He switches in his really strong fighting move user to use Sacred Sword on the Chansey and
Or even just
absorb
Leaf Blade
the
or Smart
toxic
Strike
because Steels can't get
or
poisoned.
knockoff.
But he goes for a knockoff. He was hoping to knock off the Eviolite, cut his defenses by a lot. And what? Tangrowth tried to use Sludge Bomb because he was expecting him to do the same thing, switch in his fire resist, and then get it hurt by poison. But that's not what happens. He switches in his Deoxys because he wants to renew his Reflect and Light Screen, and they both want to do the same thing. It's exactly what happened the last time Deoxys was out. He got hit by a toxic, and he switched in his Grimmsnarl, and then they both set up screens. And the snipe shot is kind of helpful because I think sniper makes him have higher critical hit or something, so it would ignore the screens.
Crits do more damage 2 times instead of 1.5. It is Lucky Chant. I Thank you.
And he
Use your hit
doesn't
chance.
want to get his screen stalled out by a fake
Oh, I
out
think
from
it's Lucky Chant. No, I think that's the move.
what's his face, by the Lopunny
That
Mega.
increases. Oh, I
Who's
don't
the
remember.
boy?
I'm not looking
I
it
think
up.
that's weird. And so he sends in his Altaria to get hit by the fake out, and it does 12% damage. And here comes the Scolipede for the first time. He gets hit by a Moonblast that he resists, and it does knock down his special attack that he's not going to use. But he gets hit by the Flamethrower. And oh boy, did that do a lot past that that screen.
Light screen. Yep.
He gets a Swords Dance off, and he's only going to get faster. He's going to be able to outspeed this Alakazam.
Well, it already does.
And hit him with a Mega Horn. And the Swords Dance basically neutralized the effects of the Reflect from a practical sense. And I guess this is like...
Not sure. I guess Black Sludge Recovery, but...
It must be a Scarfed Kartana, because why else would you send him in?
Because it has... I mean, it has phenomenal attack, but it has solid Phys Def too.
And it
Kartana
serves two purposes. He gets his speed boost, and he gets to stall out the Reflect here. And I don't think any...
Yeah, this is when we saw the Air Slash
of
Kartana.
Dylan's remaining Pokemon are good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rip.
I don't think any of his remaining Pokemon are good priority users. And Dylan did a weird thing here. He's got Air Slash on his Kartana.
He had meant to put Aerial Ace on it.
Like 35 base special attack, and he goes for Air Slash. And it...
Yes?
I guess he does have a lot of flying weaknesses. He has 3 flying weaknesses, but... You know, you gotta admit that's weird. That was definitely interesting. Because what else is a Kartana gonna be able to do to a Scolipede? He's got Steel, he's got Bug.
Smart Strike.
It's not enough. And he hits him with another Earthquake.
Smart Strike hits neutrally.
Because those are his 2 attacks. He has Earthquake, he has Poison Jab. No Mega Horn, no nothing. And he knows that Donphan's pretty tanky and usually carries a rock move. And he can probably do a lot to these hyper offense glass cannons here, Alakazam and Indolon. The Earthquake does nothing to the grass resisting bulky Tangrowth. And he doesn't want his Tangrowth to get hit by the Psyshock, because
I don't know why
he's going to be way too awesome against this Donphan and Indolon.
Is still around,
and Scolipede needs a lot of setup. Oh, okay, so Dylan explained. He messed up. He wanted it to be Aerial Ace on his Kartana, not Air Slash. That might have made a big difference, but...
Just a wee bit, yeah.
You know, the Scolipede does end up going down. The Alakazam takes quite a bit from an Earthquake. And then it makes it so he's knocked out by just a fake out. And he switches in his Earthquake. It deals exactly the same damage because he got his Regenerator boost off on his Tangrowth. And then he hits him with the Ice Shard. It crits and it doesn't do very much. But the Energy Ball, it's good enough. But he had Sturdy on his
This PS4 in the background is irking me more than it should.
All that's left is this Indolon.
Inteleon.
And Rashe switches in his Landorus and goes for a fake out here. He might go for a second fake out. No, he went for Quick Attack. He had Quick Attack Lopunny Mega because he loved fake out so much. Just in case the Indolon was scarfed, he wanted to go for Quick Attack.
Yeah.
Because he knew it would do it.
Safe play.
Return might have hit just as easily, but yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, no reason risking the Scarf crit Ice Beam
that you
from
need
Sniper.
to let your form a better relationship with your Chansey so that it can turn into a Blissey. But other than that, yeah.
I mean, this is the
got
man
no
who
use
put frustration on a Lopunny,
this
so
round.
he's not going to form
A
friendship
lot of
with
good
a
things
Blissey.
happened. And let's
Or
go
with a
to
Chansey.
the best for
Ending
last.
on a high note. You know it.
The Jack battle. And it's
Yeah.
also Jack versus Jacob. Jacob. Jacob.
What?
And
that doesn't work like that.
we all love his teams. We all love that he has Reuniclus. No, not Reuniclus. Runaringus.
Yeah.
And he switches in his Runaringus into V-Create from the Victini. This is his physical defender, and it does 76%
Victini a
damage.
Beastio.
Oh my gosh. And I don't know what Victory Star does, actually.
Increases accuracy by 10%.
I gotta look it up.
It's a worse
So it looks like Victory Star just boosts his accuracy. And that's really helpful to Victini.
In singles,
he has
it's
moves
just
like Bolt Strike and
it's just a worse Compound Eyes. A little bit better in doubles,
I
though.
don't remember. Which have a little bit less accuracy. He hits him with another V-Create, and it's on a fire resist even. And Tapu Fini takes 67% damage.
Yeah.
But the mystery terrain's up.
That doesn't matter.
And the pretty much only drawback to V-Create is that it lowers his speed. So that turn he would have been able to get hit by a Surf.
Yep.
And it might have knocked him out because he had half speed, he had half special defense. And all you need to do to get rid of that drop is switch him out. But Jack knows that there's the Surf coming in, so he just sends in the guy who's only going to take 5% damage from either Surf or Moonblast and can't get Toxic.
Well, I took 11%.
He's the perfect Tapu Fini counter. And he sends in his Scizor. I guess he's going to start Swords Dancing with the Scizor, because I don't know. I don't know what
I thought he was about to say start Swords Dancing with the Empoleon. I'd be like, that'd be hype. Bringing in offensive setup and Empoleon 2 weeks in a row.
Oh my gosh, he knocked off the Toxic Orb on the... That was the only opportunity that was going to happen. That seriously weakens...
Yeah, I mean,
Gliscor,
but Gliscor is still
knocking
pretty physically
any
defensive.
other Pokemon. Knocking off the Toxic Orb is a huge thing.
And Gliscor wasn't that necessary in this matchup. His only physically offensive mon was Scizor, and I had Rotom for Scizor, so yeah, Gliscor wasn't useful.
Jack is so sad about what happened to his Gliscor that he doesn't even switch in his Empoleon. He just gets rid of his.
Yeah, it just wasn't worth it. It was worth it to get this.
Here comes a V-Create. But the Electrode is a little faster.
Just a wee bit, yeah.
So that's why he knows that it will switch out. He goes into his guy, and he gets to start setting up the quiver dances. But Empoleon, why would you send in your Empoleon? Does he have Waterfall? No, he still has Scald, and it doesn't do enough. Oh my gosh, but the Aqua Jet is enough after that.
I mean, after a Volt Switch, what else would come in on a Quiver Dancing Volcarona? Look, like Empoleon was literally the only thing other than the Rotom that could take a
full special set. He was like, I am not going to take any damage from special attacks. I'm fine.
Yeah, boy.
This game gets pretty crazy. But he wants to avenge him. He wants to hit him with an electric attack that does half his damage. And these guys are both in Pokken Tournament. That's
are they
fun.
Actually?
Scizor and Empoleon. Oh no. But the Scizor gets the burn. You can't burn a Scizor. It makes them sad.
It better be sad.
So far,
It better be sad because you know what Jacob
Jacob's
did?
avoided
He denied
sending
Zaru
in
to
his
kill.
Ditto.
This,
He keeps switching in his Electrode
This
to
week.
Volt Switch, but this time he does a Thunderbolt on the Empoleon, just because you wanna get him out. And I guess it's Specs Electrode because he doesn't Volt Switch this turn. And Jacob switches in his Runaringus, transfers his Wandering Spirit, and gets rid of Zarude's Leaf Guard,
My poor
which wasn't
Leaf
going to
Guard.
do anything.
Hey.
And hits them with a Darkest Lariat.
Yep, and this is where
Signal Beam
Jacob spat in my face.
is a
Or not
quad
quite right here,
super
but-
effective. Unless you switch in the Rotom, and then it's half resisted. Here's the Ditto. Because he needs that electric resist. He needs something to survive it. And he's totally able to spam his overheats because it doesn't do enough. And now he's
And he went for the
stuck in
signal
on
beam.
his
Denied Zaru to kill because Zaru couldn't
Specs
come
Electrode.
in. Made me sad.
And all he can do is Signal Beam. Something that
Make
has
me
too
sad.
much defense for being so powerful.
I mean, it's a mystical. All mysticals have base 100s.
And Victini gets like, what was that, 5 KOs?
I think it
And
was 1,
there was a chance
2,
that
3.
the
It was only
Victini would
3.
have got confused from the Signal Beam. But yeah, that was oh darn.
Oh, bye.
Yeah,
Rip.
that was the week 7 of LSBA. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like,
You're welcome.
comment, and
But it's not over yet. Let's go.
we're watching week 8.
Let's do it.
8, yeah,
Yeah,
week
boy.
8.
I'm not sure exactly what he's singing, but I'm into it.
So this week
It's my
is
jam.
where we find out who is going to playoffs. It is in hot contention. And at the end of this week, we have 3 almost equally likely people
Mm-hmm.
to go to the 4th slot of the playoffs.
And,
Because a lot of cool stuff happened this week.
well, I gotta tell them something.
What?
Well,
What are you gonna tell us?
actually, someday, would you like to, if you wanted to see one of our Minecraft videos, just like and subscribe to see one of them. And if you missed it, and if you didn't like it, you're gonna have bad luck for 100 days.
100 days? But I got school starting. I can't have bad
no,
luck
I don't
when
play Minecraft.
I'm going into school.
There are more Minecraft videos than all other gaming videos combined. There's no chance of getting famous off of that. Well, so this is Rashe versus Azoth, our 2 people who don't live in Washington State. So let's see who the better guy is. Which state is better? And I
Well, I
gotta
mean, one of them lives in Florida,
make
so I
sure
think
that-
by default we know which state is.
there we go.
Is the
Desktop
better
audio is gone. So Rashe did his thing where he does his prankster trick of a black sludge, but if he had tricked the choice scarf like a normal trick, he would have been locked into his sword stance.
Let's make it very fast right there.
Hyper
Very
fast.
hyper fast. All right, we're getting hyper fast. Let's go.
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh,
That's too fast. That's
Oh,
too
that-
fast.
But- He had a grassy seed that he ate, but now he has a black sludge he's holding on. So he's got double attack and pretty high defense. Because
Oh, wait a minute.
Landorus and Lopunny and Grimmsnarl are all physical, and Chansey is like
Chansey.
not an attacker at all. But the Blacephalon is kind of scary. He did the fake out to do the more black sludge damage, but
I see the Blacephalon.
no, Blacephalon hasn't been used yet. You will see it.
I really want to see what he looks
And
like.
Tangrowth switches in to absorb the grassy glide, and
I hope he doesn't look
I thought
like-
he tried to
What?
knock off the black sludge he tricked onto him, but that's probably because he was expecting a switch, because Tangrowth
for some reason
usually
I thought
has
his
Sludge Bomb.
Rillaboom set had acrobatics.
It's like Venusaur, but worse. And the sticky web is now there, and oh my gosh, this has got to be like a defensive Landorus.
This one.
I mean,
That-
Rossi really likes
that
defensive
Pokemon
Landorus. I'm pretty sure Rossi has brought defensive
nicknamed
Lando
Zapper.
pretty much every
Zapper,
week this
yeah.
season.
And
I don't
that
remember a
one's
time where he brought offensive.
Bando
at least.
Lando.
Because that Stone Edge really should have done enough to the Vikavolt, but Landorus is a great counter to Vikavolt. And Bronzong's a pretty good counter to Landorus.
Mm-hmm.
But that's lots of hazards and only one defogger. Maybe Landorus has defog, we don't know. I don't know why he switched out his Bronzong. If it has iron defense, it can have body press. The only thing
Because
that
even
can
at
stop
plus
the
2 body press
press
is
would
going to
be the
do much to
Blacephalon.
Tangrowth. And Blacephalon's still around.
Oh no, they both switched out on the same turn, and
Armstrong? There's Armstrong.
that's right.
Mm-hmm. Neil?
Whoa! He's so
Or Lance.
giant.
And he knew that an earthquake was gonna happen
Louis.
on the.
That's the big
It's
question.
not even a super effective hit.
Gotta
but he was
need
pretty
these questions
sure it was
answered
gonna
as
happen.
often. Which Armstrong is it?
But he sacks his Vikavolt anyway. And resets a hail by switching in Ninetales. But he switches in his Chansey, who's super special defensive. And the Chansey uses Wish to heal the Landorus, because nothing else has damage. But he's the big threat comes in.
Whoa! He's so giant.
Oh my gosh! So the Chansey hits
Not
Hits
sure
the
why he went for a
Conkeldurr
seismic toss there.
with a seismic toss,
That made no
and
sense.
then gets hit by a drain punch. Takes 100% damage, and it heals the Conkeldurr back to full.
Yeah, that was not worth
What
that
was it
risk.
at before?
What the heck? It's getting himself hit. What? He just responded?
Yeah.
Look, he tries to knock off the Eviolite or whatever switches in. So it goes from 15% all the way
What?
to 100%, and then that's a forfeit. I don't know why he forfeited.
Because I think Rossi was like
How did
out of
that-
town or something,
that-
and he was
that
only like he
pink
rushed to get this
that
battle
pink
done, and
Pokemon just
after losing
respawned
Chansey,
like
he
that.
gave up.
I don't know why he didn't do his Blacephalon, or at least try, or he could have done some Intimidate switches. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that Rossi forfeited.
I do, because it
And
means
then we
Lopunny
get,
doesn't get any kills.
Jacob
Yeah.
versus Alex.
And Rasha,
I
please
like
make sure Lopunny
the
doesn't get any
open
kills this week when you fight Rossi, because
I like
it's
the
close.
open Disney. I like
think Zarude is 1 kill ahead of Lopunny, so
So
if you get 1
Jacob
kill,
wins this, it
I
pretty
think
much
Zarude's still in the head because it has less deaths.
guarantees my chance of
But
going
definitely not 2 kills.
Same.
to playoffs. But
Yeah.
so Alex leads Rabambi. They both do their webs, their hazards. Runerigus, not Runaringus.
I think it's
Not Reuniclus.
Runerigus.
Uses stealth rock.
Runerigus.
Rabambi uses sticky web, and then
Like as in rune.
defogs both of them.
Runerigus.
Because
And,
his Pokemon switch out a lot and don't have much health.
Question mark?
and
And he
are
knocks
also
off
weak to rocks.
the Runaringus with his Incineroar switching.
What?
But that gives the
That's the
Runerigus Intimidate.
No.
But then the Intimidate comes
And he
back.
hits him with the body press for 65%. But that gives him the Wandering Spirit. And gives Incineroar the Intimidate again.
Yeah, that was kind of spicy. I like that.
But it's a mixed attacker. He knew he'd get intimidated, so he overheats. But it really
Or just wanted to overheat.
No, he was getting
What does
knocked out,
Incineroar
so
have? Like
any
80 base
extra
special
damage.
attack?
But the knockoff still would have 2KO'd.
80 or 90. I
Defogs
assume.
the rocks
Yeah,
again.
80.
So far, it's only hurt
Pretty standard
this
for
Rabambi who's defogging.
fire starters.
If he gets rocks, then that takes out the Runerigus. But this Caesar is scary. Pretty much nothing
Still
on
bothers me that
Alex's
Rasha says
team wanted
Caesar.
to take a
Never heard
steal
anyone else pronounce it that way.
priority attack. We get the fake out on the Caesar from the Medicham switch in. And Psychic Surge is nice because it gets rid of his Caesar's steal priority. But it's terrain battle.
Yeah, a lot of terrain battles this season.
I like that word. Even when
And the energy ball takes it out after a sticky web's speed drop.
I mean, Lele outspeeds
So he
Finian
switches in
anyways,
his
so.
Caesar. And that makes him switch out as Defiant. Because he expects him to defog away the sticky web. But instead he gets knocked out by the dual
Or
wing
rather,
beat.
he was expecting the bullet punch, I think, and nothing else wanted to take a bullet punch.
Because he's still weak to a flying type attack. And I think since it's a double hit move, it has enough base power technically to get boosted by technician.
Yeah, dual wind beat is 40 base power, so double hit
Well, are
base
you
60
gonna
power.
get up
That's
here?
pretty solid. Or effectively makes dual wind beat stab.
And he
Take it
expects
back.
him to fake out again, so he switches in his ghost type. And it works, but not really. Come on.
Huh? I'm looking the other way.
Uh-oh. Can't look that way. Battles are over here. There we go.
Huh?
And then the imposter transformation gets rid of the stat drop from the sticky webs. And now he has a choice scarfed Ditto.
I wish Imposter
A
didn't
choice
do
scarfed
that.
Mega. Isn't that awesome? But he's kind of.
I wish Imposter copies the stat changes, but then still takes
for
sticky
the
web into
really
account.
risky play of
So like
high
if
jump
you
kick.
impostered a +2 Pokemon, you in
When,
webs you'd effectively be like +1.
Because I guess he's more
Not
worried
effectively, you
about the
would be.
Weevil than the Tapu
Yeah.
Lele, because the
I don't know.
Tapu Lele has like a quad resist to high jump kick. But He should be able to use his... Oh my gosh, the U-turn did enough.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I don't think the crit matters. I mean, Electrode wasn't killing a
But
Feeny.
Tapu Lele's Psyshock was
Or
enough
a Lele,
to
not a Feeny.
knock out the Electrode in one hit. And it has hidden power fire for the Scizor.
Web's coming in
and
pretty clutch this battle.
Poison type isn't gonna survive a Psyshock.
Yeah.
I
Lele
really
getting...
wanted Jacob to win.
Did Lele get 5 of those kills? 5 of
Lele's
the
too
6?
powerful.
I think it did,
Now,
right?
Normally, a Scizor should be able to knock him out. But
no.
this
Metachamp
guy
killed the
gets
Runerigus,
rid
so
of all priority attacks.
4 kills. So
if
pretty
he's
solid.
scarfed, he's unbeatable.
Bless you.
So David has only lost once so far. And that was to the other Rain team.
Bless you again.
And the one at the bottom of the thing.
The thing,
He has Tyranitar here, so he can counteract this Pelipper. He's a little bit more equipped than most teams. David leads Barraskewda. Dylan leads Intolon, and then switches into Deoxys, and the Deoxys takes a flip turn that does 51% damage. And he flip turns into
Barraskewda's scary,
Swampert.
dude.
Swampert
like
Mega
Barraskewda.
evolves, uses Earthquake. But luckily the Deoxys defense had Reflect, and it was enough to make it be able to survive the Earthquake. But he hits him with the Toxic.
Not sure why he
He's
then goes for a
expecting
Toxic.
some sort of switch.
Dylan didn't have anything immune to ground, so another Earthquake
And
would have been
he's trying
fine.
to sack his Deoxys here. He only wants to do one thing of screens. And the Ice Beam gets the freeze on the Swampert.
Yep. Good old Pokemon.
That
is the game
amazing.
we play.
No one's ever gotten frozen this entire season.
Yeah. I mean, 10%
And
chance.
that gives Inteleon the
There we go.
opportunity to use its focus energy. And then its water attack. Knocking out the big threat here. Pelipper comes in, sets up the rain, gets hit by a crit Ice Beam. Because of the focus energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then uses U-turn, and the U-turn only does 6% damage. But he switches in his Scarfed Zapdos. The Zapdos uses Hurricane, does
Not
49.
sure why he went for Hurricane.
Without this light screen, that would have KO'd. But he gets hit by the crit Ice
I mean,
Beam.
maybe he only had Volt Switch, but even then, like, go
His
for
two
Volt Switch,
major
dude.
threats are just gone now.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he stayed in for Hurricane. Hurricane doesn't hit anything on
Barraskewda
this
with the
team that Electric
swim.
doesn't.
The
I mean, except for
flip turn
Cortana, but Cortana has Bubkit's
does
special
enough
defense.
to knock out the Inteleon because the Reflect is gone. And he flip turns into his Celesteela. The light screen is
I
now
remember
gone.
watching
He
this
sets
battle,
up
actually.
the sand with the
I don't think I've seen this.
Tyranitar, gets rid of the rain, uses his Fire Punch, which doesn't
Not sure
do
he
enough.
went
It does
into T-Tar.
35%.
Dracozolt would have been better. He has no more ground
but
types. There we go. There's the
His
Dracozolt.
Tyranitar gets hit by a Leech Seed, loses 12%, heals the Celesteela up to 84.
Yeah, he has nothing.
Oh my gosh.
He has no switch-ins anymore to Bolt Beak.
And the Celesteela has too many mixed stats to be able to knock out the Earthquake, knock out the Dracozolt.
So yeah, what's gonna get sacked to Bolt Beak here?
And nothing, and
There's
his
the Pelipper.
ground
Yeah, makes
type
sense.
is gone, so everything is vulnerable to a Bolt Beak. But David sends in his Pelipper to redo the Barraskewda Swift Swim.
Yeah, so Dylan wins the,
But the Pelipper gets
Weather
hit
War
by a
here
bolt.
because he still has T-Tar around. Just needs to switch it in once. Yep. I wouldn't have done it.
Just to mess with
I would have
the
sacked
plan
Alakazam.
he sends in
Actually, no, I wouldn't have.
his Tyranitar.
Um,
Sets up the
if
sand.
he's Smooth Rock,
So he's
because now he just gets
still
a sweep with
dumb
Dracozolt.
fast. I guess
Whereas
this only makes sense
Alakazam
if he has,
would have to come in, and then he'd
Scarf.
still have to go back out into Tyranitar and sack it in
Cortana,
order to get sand back up. So,
Alakazam
you know what? Never
or
mind.
Dracozolt.
Switching into Tyranitar to
And
get sand up was the play.
Everything's carrying Brick Break, so Barraskewda had Brick Break instead of Close Combat. In comes the Scarfed
Yep.
Dracozolt,
Sand Rush?
and I'm pretty sure the Barraskewda had Choice Band. And that Bolt Beak did 100% damage to a Slurpuff, even with a Scarf.
It might be banded, actually.
And then he knocks out.
I mean, even if it wasn't banded, if it was
Volbeat.
Scarf, I mean, Slurpuff ain't that bulky. I mean,
Inalon, Inteleon got 3
It's Bolt Beak.
knockouts.
Bolt,
Dracozolt got 3
I hate
knockouts.
Bolt Beak and Fish's Friend.
This
I hate that
battle
they were added
made
to the game.
no difference
So dumb.
on the playoff
They're
standings
such dumb moves.
because they're both guaranteed. David's guaranteed
Like,
to
at least
go.
Bolt Beak was
Dylan's
made an
guaranteed
electric
not
move so
to,
that,
they're
and most,
pretty much,
like,
pretty
competitive
much the
teams
only
carry some
teams that
ground
it was
type.
certain for.
But, like,
But
there aren't
this Dracozolt's super scary.
water immunities outside
if
of, like,
Swampert had lived, he'd
abilities.
probably not have his Dracozolt.
so Fish's Friend is just super spammable against most teams. So, yeah,
And,
I just don't like those moves.
But
They're dumb.
the freeze on the Swampert made a huge, huge difference. And it was at the bottom of the battle reports anyway. No, it wasn't. It just ended up there. That's weird. Okay.
Best for
And
last.
then
Here
this
we
is
go.
Taco. And then this is Jack.
Let's go.
Taco says Oompa and leads his Mega Mile. But Jack leads his Rotom Heat. The perfect counter to Mega Mawile. So Taco switches in his Garchomp. But
This Garchomp confused me
Jack
so much. I
expected
still don't
some
get the
sort
set.
of switch. So he
after the
uses
fact.
Volt Switch, but the Garchomp absorbs it. Garchomp has Surf.
Yeah, like he's a
I don't know
special
why he has
Garchomp
Surf.
set, but he had no special attack investment or next to none. It
I didn't
confused
know
me
he
so
could
much.
get Surf. Wouldn't that hurt to swim in the water?
It's a land shark. Just because it's a land shark, it's still a shark.
There's no reason not to have Stone Edge instead. But Jack somehow knew that he was switching as an Empoleon and had the water resist.
No, I was sacking Empoleon.
Although it still would have resisted Stone Edge.
Actually, I don't
And
remember.
he
I
switches
think
in his
because he wasn't
Mallow
going for a
into
ground
the
type move on
Empoleon
Rotom,
because
so I think I was expecting the Stone Edge maybe,
at least 1 week it was a
or the
physical attack.
an Outrage. I don't remember. This was so long ago.
And the Volcanion switch to absorb the second Scald. And the Focus Miss.
I never use Focus Blast if I can help it.
But the Volcanion gets toxicked by the Empoleon. And the Empoleon is Protect stalling the Toxic. And he doesn't go for Focus Blast again. Although Jack sends in his Fighting Resist,
Mm-hmm.
Taco switches in his Garchomp, which is probably the best guy for Earth Power. See, Earth Power is way worse than Stone Edge.
Can I see?
Or
See
just
what?
way worse than
You're
Earthquake.
watching.
Yeah.
And the Rotom has Hidden Power Ice, but
Banana
Volcanion
seed.
quad resists ice.
Banana seed. Bibbidi-boo.
I should have protected there. I don't know why I didn't protect. At this point, I was fairly certain Garchomp was Scarf,
He
so might
doesn't
as
go for
well
a
see what
second
he was
Earth
going
Power
for.
because he knows he's going to protect
Yeah,
that turn.
I had no idea
so
why I
he
didn't
goes for
protect
the
there.
Focus Blast, but he goes for the double protect.
More banana seeds.
Oh, hello.
And the Volcanion takes the toxic damage, and this generation Victini gets a ground type move called Scorching Sand, and 4 out of 6 of Taco's team is weak to ground.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Life Orb.
Yeah, I
for the
almost made
coverage.
it HP
But
ground,
he
but I was
knows
like,
that
wait,
the
hold on.
Earthquake
Scorching
from the
Sand is the thing.
Darmanitan is going to be too much, so he switches out his Victini and switches in his Levitate, his Rotom, but Taco goes for the double coverage and uses Rock Slide twice, because he's not necessarily Scarfed. But he is choiced, because otherwise he'd be able to Earthquake the Empoleon. So
Mm-hmm.
Rotom Heat gets knocked out, so Jack switches out his Empoleon, and Taco switches out his Darmanitan
Ooh, I'm a little hungry.
that turn, so that his Togekiss gets hit by
Almost
a
done.
Scald. But he has leftovers, so it barely did any damage. And he's going for the air slash flinches. He doesn't
I
have
hate Togekiss so much.
Aura
Just because it
Sphere
does this. Fortunately, I
this
broke
set.
through and was able to land a
And
Toxic.
Jack manages to get a Toxic on the Togekiss, unlike me, and he's
Yeah.
protect stalling it.
Togekiss and
That's what he
Jirachi, I will
does,
never
but
use those
The
things.
Togekiss has
Or
Wish,
if I do, I won't use
so
Air
that you
Slash
can buy
Slash.
inferior
Air
products.
Slash
And
slash
Yawn.
Iron Head. Because
That's weird. He's got Wish and
it's
Yawn
dumb,
on his
and I don't like playing that
Togekiss.
way.
But Jack switches out his Empoleon after
And
his
like,
last
it's not fun to
protect he
play,
can
and
do,
it's
and
definitely
he
not fun to
uses
play
his,
against.
electric type.
I
He's
just
gonna
I
try
hate
to thunder
Togekiss and
something.
Jirachi.
But Galvantula can outspeed a Garchomp pretty normally, but
Fortunately, I don't have the HPI still.
he sets up the
Rip.
sticky webs with his Aragog, which is probably going to make a huge difference. That negates Darmanitan's Choice Scarf. It negates anyone else's potential Choice Scarf. But he sends in his Garchomp because he's expecting Jack to Thunder. Although he's probably got...
Yeah, Taco is actually making
Power
some
Ice
pretty
on
nice
his
predicts
Galvantula.
this battle.
No, he doesn't. So he switches
If it
out his
wasn't some
Glysaur,
weird
but the Glysaur gets hit
special
by Surf. That's what
Garchomp.
Surf was for. It was just for Glysaur.
But it was also for
And it does
Rotom.
way too much. It does 65% to the Glysaur. So Jack switches in his Empoleon to resist the Surf. The Surf does 9% damage.
Mhm.
He heals for 6%. And like always, Taco sends in his Togekiss. It gets hit by a Scald for 25%. Takes a little bit of toxic damage, and he's going to set up a Wish now. Who's he going to Wish pass it to? We'll find out. But Victini also has Glaciate, and the Glaciate knocks out the Togekiss.
Mm-hmm.
And so in comes the Mawile, gets the Intimidate that doesn't do anything to the Victini. Well, it might be a mixed attacker, who knows.
Bless you.
And in comes the Empoleon, but the Mawile does Swords Dance so it can Sucker Punch everything. Because without Sucker Punch, you pretty much can't knock out a Victini. But the Scald
This is
does
correct.
42% and knocks out the Mega Maiwall. In comes the Darmanitan. The Scarf Darmanitan, the Rock Slide just doesn't do enough. He was hoping that he'd be able to I don't know why he used Rock Slide.
I don't know why either, to be honest.
Flare Blitz would have done probably enough, but the Bibbidi Milk. The Garchomp comes in and uses Dragon Pulse and knocks out the Empoleon, but gets hit by a Bug Buzz. But the Galvantula goes down to another Dragon Pulse. And so he sends in Zarude because he loves it when, Jack loves it when Zarude gets KOs.
Yeah, boy.
He's probably banded, but who knows?
I know.
And so, because if it wasn't banded, why would you close combat the Garchomp? GG, that ending was Zarude. Bruh, what was that Garchomp set? You were all special moves, but according to my calcs, you had, like, no special attacks investment. It was the please, no burn me set. So yeah,
Yep.
Thanks for watching. That was week 8.
Yeah.
This last week is week 9.
Let's go.
And there is still contention over who gets to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's pretty spicy.
So it's still worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and buy all the t-shirts.
All the t-shirts. Yeah, well, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about the delay, Azoth, but here it is for you. And hey, Bob, if you're watching, what's up, dude? What's crack-a-lackin'? Yep, that's all I got. See you next time.